So this is the 2016 Junior Cert Higher Level Paper 2 and we're looking at question number 1. Part A says the following 5 numbers have a median of 6 and a range of 9. They are given in increasing order. So the numbers are 2, 2, x, 7 and y, and they're going from smallest to biggest in increasing order. Find the value of x and the value of y. Okay, well, if we know that it has a median of 6, that means the middle number is 6. Now, they're already in order, so we know that this middle number, which in our case is x is in the middle, it's got 2 to the left and 2 to the right, well that must be 6. So x must be 6. And then the second bit of info is that the range is 9. Now the range is the biggest value, subtract the smallest. So that means that the biggest value y, subtract the smallest value 2, biggest and smallest, that'll give us our range, which is 9. So y minus 2 is 9. Well, that means that y must be 11, because 11 minus 2 is 9. So x is 6 and y is 11. Part B says the following 6 numbers have a median of 15, a mean of 18 and a range of 30. They are given in increasing order again, so we have A, 8, 14, B, 26 and C. Find the value of A, the value of B and the value of C. Okay, so let's look at our first bit of info again. It's a median of 15. Well, this time we have 6 numbers, so the median will be right in the middle here between the third and the fourth. So if the median is 15, the median will be halfway between 14 and B. So 15, if it's halfway between 14 and B, well that means B must be 16. Because 15 is halfway between 14 and 16. So there's our value for B. B is 16. Now the next thing it says is there's a mean of 18 for all these numbers. So if we add up all these numbers, so that's going to be A plus 8 plus 14 plus B, which we now know is 16, plus 26 plus C. If we add up all those numbers and divide by how many numbers there are, which is 6, that'll give us the mean of 18. So now we have an equation here with 2 unknowns, A and C. So we're just going to tidy it up a bit. So on top here we can put the 8, the 14, the 16 and the 26 together. When we add them we get, that's 30 and 56 and 8 is 64. So on top there we're going to have A plus 64 plus C. And that's all over 6 equal to 18 still. So now what we can do is, to get rid of the fraction, we can multiply both sides by 6. If we multiply this here by 6, and we must balance the other side. So here when we multiply this fraction by 6, the 6's cancel and we're left with A plus 64 plus C is equal to 6 times 18, which is 108. Okay, so now what we can do is we can move this 64 across, becomes a negative, and we're left with the equation A plus C is equal to 108 minus 64, which is 44. So there's one equation with 2 unknowns. So we're going to need another equation, hopefully with the same 2 unknowns. And when we look at our last bit of info, it says there's a range of 30. Well, the range is the biggest value, subtract the smallest. So that'll give us C minus A, the biggest value, C, subtract the smallest value. We know that that's going to give a range of 30. Okay, so now if we put this equation up here underneath this, we've got I'm just going to, instead of A plus C, I'm just going to write it backwards. C plus A, and we know that's 44. So now we have two equations with the same two unknowns. We can solve this simultaneously. So what I'm going to do here is try and eliminate the A's. I've got minus A and a positive A, so if I add these two, they're going to give me 0. So I'm going to add everything now. C plus C is 2C. Minus A plus positive A, that just gives me 0, so they cancel. And then 30 and 44 gives me 74. So 2C is 74. I can now divide both sides by 2. 2's here cancel, and that leaves C is equal to 37. 74 divided by 2, which is 37. So that's my C value. I'm going to box that off there. So if C is 37, I can just plug that back into one of the two equations here. I'm going to plug it back into this one. So A plus 37 is equal to 44. Well, that means if we bring that 37 over, it becomes a negative. And what we have is A is equal to 44 minus 37, which is 7. So there we have A is 7. B, the first value we got there, is 16. And C is 37. So I'm just going to highlight those. My answer is in green. And that's the end of question 1.